All right, let's just spend a little more time on Mr. Trump's economic message. Joining us now, we welcome back North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, Trump campaign surrogate, and Art Laffer, former Reagan economist. Gents, first of all, I want to parse through some more Mr. Trump's economic message, all right? I want to make sure that people hear it and understand what it is. He said it brilliantly last night in the South Bronx. He said it in a few other places. I just want to repeat it. So let me give you some sound from Mr. Trump on real wages and minorities in the South Bronx last night. Take a listen, fellas.
We had the best poverty rate in terms of the positive number ever in our history for Black Americans and Hispanic Americans. We lifted 6.6 million people out of poverty. Nothing like that has ever happened in our country. And the real middle class income rose over $6,000 a year. Think of that. Under Biden, it's a disaster. Real middle class income has fallen over $2,000 a year.
Now, he is being very precise and specific, and this is a welcome change. Most politicians don't even want to go near that. The president knows these numbers cold. He's got a strong staff behind him, et cetera, et cetera. Let me begin with Governor Burgum, because Doug Burgum, I want people to hear this. These are important contrasts. That under Trump, it was plus 6,000 for the middle class. Under Biden, that's minus 2,000. It's an $8,000 swing. It's a living standard swing. It's I can't afford the Biden economy swing. You know what I mean, Governor? And I think, you know, those people heard it in the South Bronx. Those people hopefully heard it in Wildwood. But I just think it has to be repeated. Trump policies worked.
Well, absolutely, Larry. And Bidenomics is working for no one. With the high interest rates, the inflation, it doesn't matter. You're heading into Memorial Day weekend and you're a working family. You're paying more for your gas, more for your food, more for your rent, more for your electricity, all of that. So Bidenomics works for no one. Maganomics works for everybody because it's low interest rates, it's low regulation, it's low taxes, it's prosperity. It works for everybody. And so I think Bidenomics is killing the American dream, and Maganomics is going to rescue it.
But Arthur, you know, he lays it out. I mean, he talked last night specifically about tax cuts and minimal regulations, unfair trade. I mean, he was very specific. Fighting inflation. I want to harbor on the inflation in a second. I've got an angle on it. But he's saying, here's my policies. Here's what I'm going to do. You know, reporters call up. I don't want to talk to him. I said, just listen to what the guy's saying. He's been as clear as a bell. What do you think, Art?
I think it's what he should. What he's done is he's linked the policies, tax cuts to create the economic growth, to create the increase in the median income of workers in America. He understands sound money to lower inflation, to lower interest rates. Drill, baby, drill. I think he used that phrase again to get more energy, to getting prices down, to get growth here, to produce clean, good fuel. I mean, he's talking about regulations, all of this, Larry. He's linking it all together, just like you'd expect a business person to do. He has done it and done it perfectly.
Yeah, no, that's right. Business people understand details. They understand specificity.
Exactly
Governor
right.
Burgum, on this point, I'm going to argue that we cannot completely tame inflation as long as oil prices are up in the $80 range. During the Trump years, it was $40 to $50. And you're from North Dakota. It's a big oil producer, oil and gas state. You know this stuff. I'm just saying we're twice as high as we need to be. One reason Trump was down less than 2% inflation for all his 4 years is energy. And energy permeates the economy. We talked about it last night. It covers every darn thing you can possibly imagine. You know, from cell phones to operating rooms to tennis rackets and golf clubs, as a petroleum component to everything. Until we get back to drill, baby, drill, put more on the market, more production supply on the market, and get those prices down, we will never tame inflation, Doug Burgum. That's my point. Do you see it any differently? I mean, that's a key part of the inflation fight.
Well, absolutely. Energy is a core component of every product, and we've got high energy prices. We kill jobs in America. We push those to other countries. But, Larry, in addition to the inflationary aspect of Biden's energy policies, it's also the factor behind the two wars. We're in two proxy wars, one with Russia and one with Iran, and those adversaries are funding those battles against us with the oil money they're getting. Biden's energy policies have helped our adversaries. They've hurt the American energy industry. They've driven inflation at home, and they've allowed, Biden once again trying to drain our Strategic Petroleum Reserve. At the same time, China's building theirs up to the highest level, and Biden's turned the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, trying to do it again, into his own personal political petroleum reserve to try to, curry favor by somehow suggesting, in this latest move, taking 1 million barrels out ahead of Memorial Day weekend, like, oh, I care about the price at the pump. I mean, we pump more than 1 million barrels by supper time in North Dakota, and so that's meaningless. But when he took out half of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve ahead of the midterms, he took 1 million barrels a day for 180 days to try to drive the price down at the same time as agencies were trying to kill U.S. energy.
Yeah, what a terrific goofball plan. Art Laffer, you want a businessman in the White House? You want a businessman in the White House?
I do. I called Jack Welch before in 2016 and asked him what he thought of Donald Trump because he'd done so much work with him. He said, Art, Donald Trump is the best business partner you could ever have. We will do business with him every day of the week and twice on Sunday. This guy knows how to get stuff done. And if you don't believe me, just look at the first 3 years before the pandemic hit. And as you say, the lowest unemployment rates for poor, minorities, disenfranchised, all of that, lowest overall, great economic growth, much faster growth than Europe. I mean, this guy knows how to do it, and he's going to do it. And it'll be really wonderful to get back on the prosperity train.
Arthur, you know that Governor Burgum had a fantastic business record before he went to the State House. You know that.
He was amazing. Yes, I do. I'm very much of a fan of Doug Burgum, by the way, just for the record.
And I think he's a Trump kind of guy. Anyway, knows the whole story. Art Laffer,
He is,
thank
sure.
you. Governor Doug Burgum, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.